What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome back to The Breakdown. This is the series where I analyze subscriber gameplay to help you improve. In today's episode, we're going to be analyzing an above average gameplay. It's actually a nuclear gameplay from Shorty Dog. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so every now and then I decided I'm going to be mixing in one of these really above average gameplays so I can explain what somebody's doing right, so you can hopefully pick up some of those good habits that these people are using in order to get things like nuclears or just really good scoring games. So the big thing I wanted to point out is just the overall big picture general playstyle of this person. He is very, very good at knowing when to push and when to play defensively and wait for your enemies. You'll see throughout the entire gameplay, he's rushing around like crazy, but then he'll stop and he'll wait. This is something that you typically see with those players that really know what they're doing and have great control over their game. There's players that get pretty good with gun skill and then they just start rushing around like crazy and they're way too overly aggressive. I'm guilty of this most of the time, but that's mainly just because I'm trying to entertain, so I'm just pushing constantly as hard as possible. And then there's the players that camp to try to get their nuclears. This guy's got the perfect balance of the two. He knows when to push, and he knows when to relax. He knows when to back off even when there are situations that he just doesn't like. He'll back off away from those, and he knows when he can challenge and when he can't challenge enemies. You'll notice when he runs into a situation he doesn't like, he backs off and he'll attack it from a different angle. You can see he's always trying to find that weakness, always trying to find that hole, and this is how he's so successful and able to stay alive so effectively while getting lots of kills. So as we go through and look through the individual scenarios, I really want you to pay attention to that overall general playstyle that he has. He's aggressive, but he knows when to be patient at the same time. Okay, so the first situation right here is actually a mistake that I wanted to point out. He plays this game very, very well, but right here is a big mistake that he made, but he managed to pull through. So right here, he's got the hater up, so you can see very easily where all of the enemies are and where they're coming to, where they're coming from. And right here in the window, he's got an enemy to his left, and then he's got two enemies that are coming to his right. The smart move in this scenario is to either wait it out so those enemies come around the corner by the window. He's got the cover of the windowsill, and he can pick them off, and he'll have the advantage in that because they won't expect him there. Or he can simply back off. But instead, he actually jumps out the window, shoots the guy to his left first, does a 180 super quickly, kills the guy that was behind him, and then does another 180 and kills another guy that came up towards where that area was. This was not necessarily the smart move or the right move to make, but with pure gun skill, he was able to pull this off, and he got lucky. He got a little bit lucky here that the enemies didn't manage to kill him. He probably should have died in this scenario, but he had excellent aim. He was able to snap between targets very, very quickly because of his high sensitivity. And in this scenario here, he didn't sacrifice his accuracy for that high sensitivity. Now right here is something that I really like that he does that a lot of people don't do, and that is, first off, he uses cover properly and waits for this enemy to come around the corner while he's got the hater up, picks off the kill, and then instead of just camping there, or instead of rushing straight out there where he was just firing an unsilenced gun and where he just killed an enemy, he rotates back and attacks from a different angle. He's going back and forth between these angles, and this style of play is very unpredictable and very effective. Now, one thing I wanted to point out here, you'll notice he has that super high sensitivity, and a lot of people think that having the super high sensitivity is always the best thing. Right here is where you really see the downside of having that super high sensitivity. This guy generally handles his high sensitivity very, very well, and it's working for him, but you can tell he's definitely sacrificing some of his mid to long range accuracy in a lot of scenarios. Now, skipping ahead to the second round, something that I love that he does, that he demonstrates very well right here, is he doesn't linger in any one spot for too long. He comes up here, picks off a couple kills, then he backs off and attacks from a different angle. Had he lingered there, there's now enemies that know that he's there, and they're just going to be posted up waiting for him. But by him rotating around, this allows him to get a different angle on those guys and shoot them in the side, and they have no idea what hit him. Also, you'll notice he's pushing past the B flag here. Now, some would argue, oh, he's not playing the objective or anything, but what he's doing is he's pushing the enemies back so far and slaying them so that they can't even get a line of sight on the B flag. These kills are relatively low-risk kills for him because they don't expect him to be there, and therefore, it's a win-win situation. He's helping his team capture the B flag while also getting relatively easy kills. Now, right here as well, I'm pretty sure he was looking really big picture, and this is something I really like. He was thinking ahead. instead of pushing towards the C spawns where he knows all his teammates are already pushing quite hard, he just kind of lingers back slightly towards where his spawns are without blocking his own spawns off here at the A flag. I'm pretty sure he anticipated this spawn flip and he was just waiting for the spawn flip in a safe situation. This really shows that he's looking at the big picture. He's not just chasing dots on the map, he's actually thinking about what's going to be happening in the next 5 or 10 seconds and how he can set himself up for success in the future rather than just right now. He's thinking in the future, not in the present. Now, throughout this entire situation here, again, he's doing that thing where he's picking off a kill, then he's backing off a little bit. He's using cover to his advantage. Right there, he noticed he was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed by enemies, so he decided, I just don't like that situation. I'm going to push away from it and let them come. And then I can set up and attack him from a different angle. So he's flanking around, shooting him in the back, shooting him in the sides. He can see exactly where they are based on the hater, and he's doing his best to not challenge face-to-face gunfights that are essentially fair. Now right here, he read that spawn flip, so he pushed over towards where the C spawns are, where the enemies are spawning. You'll notice he's always got his sights up, ready to go for where an enemy might appear, and he's always ready for those gunfights. Like right here, for instance, his sights were up, ready to go, nicely centered on the doorway, and there's the nuclear. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of The Breakdown. I'm still not looking for any new gameplays, but pretty soon, probably next episode, I'll start asking for some new gameplays. So just keep that in mind. Still not looking for new gameplays, but when I do, I'll be sure to let you guys know. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.